an apartment complex on North Line. I drove through it a couple times. I saw there was a huge community there. I guess I should say that I've owned a business in the agricultural department. I've done grooming, boarding, doggy daycare. I have a vet at my business 3 times a week. And I've been in it since 1989. So I've dealt with a lot of different people at a lot of different levels. And so one of them was ARF, and that was Pat Odette's.
So in other words, you supplement.
I supplemented it,
Foundation.
and I was able to get $600, which what I had her do, and another group which was called Good Juju. They also donated, and I had them to put the monies at the Paws Clinic. And the Paws Clinic also receives grants. So we were able to get quite a few cats, at least 30. And out of those 30, there were 7 pregnant cats. So out of those, you figure at the very minimum of 3 kittens per litter. Quite a few cats that were not put back out into the environment. So basically what I'm saying is that we have fundraisers to raise the money. We're very new. I didn't have it at that time. I knew where to reach out. I reached out, and I was able to help that group of cats. Then at another time, Lanny had called me about over at the American Legion.
Right.
And once again, I was able to reach out because I didn't have the 501c3, and I still don't. We are now in the process of getting it. Judge Slavin's going to help us.
He said he would
He's
help
going
us.
to write it up for us. So he is backing us as well, just to let you know. I was then called again a couple weeks ago by Lanny again, or he had given my phone number to a lady, and she had 2 kittens that she had trapped. And I had made an appointment to go up to St. Julian's because she thought one had a broken foot. So we had a fundraiser, and we had some funds available, and we said that we would donate to these kittens. So we went to St. Julian's in Dearborn Heights, and Dr. Dickey looked at the kitten with the hurt foot, and she decided that it had either been bitten, caught in a trap, or caught in a fence or something, but she felt it was nerve damage. She kept the cat. So we were very thankful she kept the cat.
So
Then
you've been working with a lot of organizations.
a lot of different
Exactly.
people are out there.
Once
So
the 501 has been approved also, that makes this group eligible to apply for a lot of
Right.
grants. And having done this for 17 years, sometimes I say I'm a master at finding the free spay neuter because, you know, there are places to look, there are places to hunt for. Where there's a will, there's a way is basically what it boils down to a lot of the time.
What kind of funding are we talking about? I mean, what type of budget is this, do you see in this?
Annually?
I mean, I know that it's an annual, you know, what are you looking at annual? I know it depends on what exactly you encounter throughout the year, but also I want to know exactly what your budget would
As
look
far
like.
as would we be asking the council for
No,
monies?
I'm not
or-
asking for
Okay,
that.
yeah, no, we would not be, yeah, we would not be asking the council for monies and that type of thing.
Sure, I'm asking, so I can kind of back it up here. I'm trying to ask exactly what is your budget looking like as far as how much you're looking to raise per annual basis?
Or any other, you know, municipalities or where, you know, other 501c3s that are.
Okay, as far as how much do they
normal
usually
annual coverage
spend?
in a city of that
We
size.
usually figure on an average of a cat costing approximately $25 per cat. And that kind of averages out as far as the spay neuter of the healthy cat that goes right back out, or the cat that needs some additional medical care, and then that balances out the ones that we get done free. MHS has a free spay neuter program that we make a lot of use of. Paws Clinic quite frequently has grants, but we figure an average of $25 a cat is what is the cost. So if we were to do 100 cats in 1 year, you know, $2,500. Our goal as far as number of cats to do, I would like to see in the city at least, what do you think for a year, for the first year? I would like to see at least 25 to 30 per month the first
I was
year,
going to say 200
or
to
more.
300.
per month.
year?
Yes.
200 to 300 a year, yes.
It
for
just depends
community.
on the need, actually.
And what will happen is it will look like things are getting worse rather than better. That's simply because we're finding them. It will reach an apex and then it will drop off rapidly.
Are you tracked, are the cats tracked? Are you able to keep track of the cats?
Their ear tip is the only thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
They are
the-
only ear tip. The reason that we do not track them, number one is cost, and secondly, in order to scan them, we would have to retrap them.
But they're identifiable.
But they're
as your cats.
identifiable
Now-
as our cats because they have, the left ear is ear tipped, and that left ear indicates that the cat has been spayed and neutered and has had shots, so it's vaccinated and has had that rabies
So
shot.
we're basically taking them out, having them fixed and everything,
Mhm.
and then we put them back out to control the
Rodents.
area, okay?
And then
So
we're-
if those cats, let's say if those cats, if, God forbid, one of the cats scratches,
They've had rabies shots. so-
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, but the important thing is, if they have little tips on them, are the tips identifiable?
Yes,
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
the
if
tips
somebody
are
said the cat
identifiable
scratched
as-
me, but it had a little thing on it,
Yeah,
that way we
if-
kind of know that we're not worried about
Exactly.
a rabid cat or, you know.
when you see the ear tip, you know it's had the rabies shot, so you don't need to
Okay.
worry about that type of thing. You also know that it is a community cat, which means, well, Cook County has established that it's owned by the community, it's not owned by an individual. It's not owned by the council, it's not owned by Kim, it's not owned by me as a part of Community Cats United. And so it would be no different than a raccoon is not owned or that type of thing. The ear tip is clearly identifiable. It's gotten a little harder for me. I use binoculars now. I used to be able to see them quite clearly. Now I use binoculars to see them. But it's the left ear, and that is an international sign for a community cat that has been spayed and neutered and has had its shots.
What do the community cats eat when they're out there on, you know?
We are asking as part of the ordinance that caregivers be allowed to care for them within specific guidelines. And in the sample ordinance that I have in your packet, I have given guidelines for feeding, guidelines for sheltering, and that type of thing. A healthy cat is going to hunt more rodents, and a healthy cat is a well-fed cat.
Is there any other questions for us?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
two. The first one is, you referenced Cook County. Are there any local communities that have similar ordinances in place now that we can speak to? And then the second question is that I'm trying to envision what this looks like, and one of the fears that I have is the cats being hit by vehicles, and what happens at that point in time. We do our best at the shelter to try to keep not euthanize cats or dogs, even injured cats or dogs, but I don't know what is the expectation of an injured cat that has gone through the process and has the clipped ear.
Okay, if, for instance, a cat was hit by a car and is injured but is not deceased, is that the situation you're questioning? Let's say Lenny is out, he goes out on a call, or he doesn't even go out. He gets a call that a cat has been hit, and that cat has a visible ear tip. He calls Kim, who either goes out or sends a volunteer out with a trap. If it appears that the cat cannot be trapped safely by that volunteer would call animal control again. We're not in a situation where we want to put any human, whether it's a volunteer or anyone, in danger, and we recognize when animal control needs to handle the situation. As far as the medical care for that cat, it would be evaluated as any other cat as far as does it have a reasonable expectation of healing within its home area, and this is outside versus inside. So we would more likely look at that cat as being a euthanization situation than a cat that was going inside where it could be monitored and kept in a room and that type of thing. So if that cat, the injury is minor and that cat could go back and have a reasonable expectation of recovery within the wild situation, that would be what would be done. If the cat has a broken leg where it would need a cast and it would need to be monitored and would need to be, kept immobile and that type of thing, that's not a reasonable situation, nor is that a happy situation for a community cat. And that would be a euthanization situation. And then your other question regarding other communities, there are a lot of what we call don't ask, don't tell communities in this area. These are communities that might have a resolution on the books, and I've included a resolution in your packet, which is just a statement of philosophy. And then volunteers work with their animal control. Oak Park is an example of that, where they have a don't ask, don't tell. There's a lot of communities that have that going on that really take the don't ask, don't tell seriously, so I can't tell. But I don't recommend that because I think, and especially in this community, and after talking to Lanny, Lanny indicated that he would like to see a lot of guidelines and things in print. And I feel that in this community, having as much in print as possible will be a benefit, because it means that if Lanny gets a call, he doesn't have to argue with anybody. It's right
It's in
there.
our control,
It's
we're
with-
overseeing.
I would just
Yeah.
like to add, like, you know, I know similar science of this. You know, my father-in-law lives up by where they do the lamprey testing. And this is the same type of science they use to where they're sterilizing the lampreys as they're riding, you know, going up into the rivers and then going back out into the lakes. So this science does work. You know, that's what kind of, you know, at first I was a little leery. And then kind of add on to your question, Mayor, you know, if a cat gets injured or something like that, the cats are not the top of the food chain, so you still have coyotes and fox that will actually
Well, they
prey
can still
upon
be
those.
an animal.
Absolutely, you know,
Yeah.
so I mean, usually a wounded animal is taken out by another animal, you know, and if it's not found or anything like that, so I just wanted to kind of add that the lamprey science has worked, and, you know, it's
A
something
lot of the
that-
communities, the cat communities in Taylor, where are they located? Not specific, but I mean, are they in apartment complexes? Are they
Near
in
apartment
neighborhoods? Are they
complexes.
near the woods? Or where are they?
Everything,
Everywhere.
everything.